A little tired. I went to bed at halftime last night, which I guess was good for me considering I didn't have to watch myself sweat and be mildly unsuccessful.
Yeah, then it'd be harder to fall asleep. But, yeah.
Still a good night, but had the
I checked
potential to be way better.
for sure. I checked the sleep app. I'm pinned to the floor.
Yeah, mine's not great today. Mine was okay, I believe.
Mine was bad and rest. That's just hockey nights, though. Every day I play, every time I play, because I think I come home and my heart rate's still elevated.
Sure. I was okay and poor.
Oh, you got to pour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NBA strategy show presented by Prize Picks. I'm Dave Loughran at Lafy_D, joined by Josh Engleman at Josh Engleman on the Twitters is where you can find the both of us. And boy, heck of a night. Now, the Denver game, I mentioned it on the odd shop. I like Denver to cover that game. I also credit to Ben Rasa. He said from the jump before the series started, he thinks it could go 7. Every home team wins. Right now, Ben looks like he's on track because I wouldn't be shocked at all to see Phoenix get that game 6 win.
No.
Booker's shooting came back down to earth. Shocking that he couldn't shoot 80% again. And then the other one, the 76ers, 7.5 point dogs in Boston. The Celtics got almost booed off the floor yesterday, Josh, and that entire crowd at TD Garden was leaving in droves with like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That game really did surprise me.
It was bad. It was really bad. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I didn't see that coming. They laid a complete egg. Do I think Boston can still win the series? Yeah, of course. Like you get the job done in Philly in game 6 and you're feeling like you're the more likely team to do it. So, they're playing for one game. Oh man, I hate it. I hate it so much.
They can
really
absolutely win.
Yeah.
For sure. Being that this game is, I'll tell you what, though. Wells Fargo Center is going to be insane on tomorrow. It's going to be nuts there tomorrow.
It's going to be bonkers.
Dude, they haven't advanced to the conference finals since 2001. Yeah. Over 20 years, 2 decades. It's going to be insane there.
It's really going to be bonkers because what's waiting for them if it breaks correctly, like conference finals against Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, yesterday. Oh God, I know you talk about a spectacle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the Philly crowd, like Tobias Harris is going to play like shit, and they're going to be cheering Jimmy Butler in Philadelphia while he kicks their ass.
Dude, that's the thing is that everybody assumes that like anyone who leaves Philly, everyone in Philly hates him. I don't know a single person, and I'm sure they exist. I'm sure. I don't know a single like diehard Sixers fan that doesn't like Jimmy Butler. I've told you he's one of my favorite. I love Jimmy. I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Butler. Adam said to me the other day, like, "Oh, this must be painful for you watching Jimmy Butler against the Bucks." So it's really not, man. I enjoy Jimmy Butler. I root for Jimmy Butler. Of course, I want him to lose. I would love if we were to face them of course, I want him to lose. Jimmy Butler did nothing wrong to leave Philadelphia, though. So anybody that dislikes him, that has disdain for that reason, they're completely misguided.
No, I dislike him for way different reasons than leaving Philadelphia.
Yeah, why do you dislike Jimmy Butler? I don't understand.
Don't love the play style. I think he's overrated.
That's silly.
Yeah.
He's overrated.
Not for me.
Why is he overrated?
I think he's like the worst version of the best guy that you can get on the team. As weird as that's like, that probably doesn't make a ton of sense, but like
made 0 sense. Matter of fact,
of the guys that you can say are like, these guys are the number ones on a team, the guys that are like, you're building your team around. I think he's the worst version of that.
It's hard to say that in that Bucks series. It's hard to say that with a lot. It's hard to say that with a lot of Jimmy Butler postseason performances, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, but it's true though. He's always going to run into somebody else that's better than him. Whether that's Giannis in different years, LeBron
wait,
in
hold
different years.
on. If we're, I'm not putting him in the same conversation as Jokic and Giannis and everything.
But he is in that conversation to like the general public.
I think maybe
Jimmy Butler is the lead guy and the driving force for a particular team. But I think that he's the worst version of that of all the other guys that could have that status.
But that's not a reason to not like him.
It is for me, yeah.
Okay, then I'll say he's the best version of all the guys in that tier below him, and then it flips it.
Because he's not. He's not in that tier below. He's in the tier at the top. He's in the LeBron tier. He's in the Giannis tier. He's in the Embiid tier. He's in the tier to the public with those guys. He's the peer of those guys. But I don't think that he has the capability to do that kind of stuff.
Do you think he belongs in that tier and is the lowest in that tier?
I think he is in that tier as the lead guy of a team. Like of contenders, I think he's the worst version of any real contender.
Argument makes a lot of sense because who cares?
Somebody has to be that guy.
Well, who cares if he's the worst version? It doesn't mean it's
because I don't think that you're ever going to get to where you want to be because of that. Like, I don't think he's just always going to roll into a series where he's not the best guy.
All right.
Like, it's hard to upgrade the Heat because I don't think that you could upgrade Jimmy Butler.
But I think the reason people really enjoy Jimmy Butler is because in big spots, he plays like he's the best guy in the league. And that's exciting. That's good for basketball. Yeah,
I didn't say that. This is just why I don't like Jimmy Butler. I don't give a shit about I agree that's why that people like him.
Huh. It's just odd that you don't like him for that. Maybe you don't like the public.
I root for the guys that I think are the best. And I think his gap between where his real talent is and where the public thinks it is below that.
Man, he's so fun to watch in the postseason.
I don't disagree with that either. I watch him to hope that he fails.
I don't think he is in tier one, though. Like, I don't think people put him in that tier. I think in the playoffs, that's why people get so excited about him in the postseason, because nobody truly views him as tier one. So when he's doing that, they're like, oh man, Jimmy Butler's playing tier one status again. They're not saying he is tier one, but I think they're going, look what this guy's doing again. And we hadn't seen it all season. Like, I'm not necessarily.
That proves my point that you're just calling him even worse than I am. So that works for me.
Yeah, because I don't think he is in the same tier as everybody else. Doesn't mean I don't love watching him ignite in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm fine with you still liking him. But if you're saying that you don't even think he's in that tier, then that works for me even more.
You want to know?
But I really think the Heat stink.
You want to know what the playoff or the after last night? You want to know what the series or sorry, the finals odds are now to win the finals?
Hit me.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you to take some guesses here.
Okay.
All right. And see where you land.
Okay.
So we'll go first with what team has the shortest odds to win the finals, in your opinion?
The Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets, yep.
Not close, I'm guessing, either.
No, it's very close.
Really?
Well, it depends on what you would consider plus 300 and plus 340 close. They are close.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. There are two teams tied with the second shortest odds at plus 340.
Lakers.
Yep.
Boston?
Sixers.
Okay.
Which actually, when you think about it, Boston's plus.
Oh, yeah, fuck. That
it makes a lot of sense. Because if the Sixers get through this round.
I didn't think it was in my mind, I stopped thinking about the Sixers for some reason, and I was just like, there's no fucking way they put Miami there. So.
Oh, no chance. Yeah, but Sixers
obviously the Sixers ahead
just
of the
because
Celtics.
of the path.
That's just that was a dumb response.
And Rance was like, the Celtics aren't dead yet. Of course not. And if you want a better example of that, they're plus 400. Sixers are up 3-2, plus 340, and they're going into a home game. So no, Celtics very far from dead. Suns 11-1, Heat 14-1, Warriors 16-1. Warriors have the second longest odds now to win the finals. And the Knicks at 90-1.
Yeah, that one's not happening.
Yeah, I think these odds are pretty sensible. The only one that I thought was crazy, and Ben and I discussed this at length yesterday on the Odd Shop, only one that didn't make sense to me, and I actually went ahead and bet this, was the Celtics were minus 330, which I thought was fine going into that game, and the Nuggets were minus 165. I just don't see a world where there should have been that much of a discrepancy, given how good the Nuggets have been at home all season long, given the lack of depth in Phoenix, and given the fact that, the Phoenix Suns don't only not have depth, but they have to play the two guys 45 minutes a game. So it did surprise me, Josh, that the Nuggets were minus 165. And the Nugget, or I'm sorry. Yeah, minus 165 to win the series, to win just that series.
Yeah.
And the Celtics were minus 330.
Yeah, I like that for the Nuggets. I don't blame you for betting that at all.
I mean, now they're probably minus, I'm going to say, Phoenix is going to be favored at home, I think. Probably like 3 points, I would say, if I had to guess.
Sounds right.
Let's take a guess here. Denver Nuggets series line, I'm going to say minus 350.
Yeah. No, shorter than that is my guess.
All right.
In the
minus
twos.
minus 370.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I would say like 280, 290. Yeah, I guess they are bigger favorites than that in my mind.
It's just that game 7 at home is going to tip the scales. Sixers minus 195, Heat minus 800, Lakers minus 450. Lakers were minus 500 yesterday. Well, we got some basketball to talk about. Happy to have you guys with us. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. 39 likes. Come on now. Take a single second to atone for your sins here. You know the drill. You'll feel cleaner. You'll be cleansed. You'll be fixed. Your day will be better. Your life will be better. In all seriousness, it just helps us a lot. So if you haven't done so yet, take a single second. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below, too, if you're listening after the fact. And if you're in podcast form, rating, a review, all that stuff goes a really long way for us. Subscribing to the pod, telling your friends about the show. However you guys want to help contribute to this wonderful free content here on the Stokastic YouTube, we are grateful for your contributions.
Truth.
All right. Yesterday's opening to the show got a little out of control, huh?
We had fun, right? Nothing crazy. I had a good time.
Thought we had a blast, as a matter
of fact. I had a
good
time. Yeah.
Man, Miami, New York Knicks, 209.5 total. Lakers, Warriors, 226. Warriors 7-point favorites. It's kind of interesting, right, that the Warriors are 7-point favorites. I get it. It's a 3-1 elimination game, do or die. But the Lakers have just been the better team all series long, save for one game.
And yet they aren't the better team. We're going to do this? Evidently, Golden State is the better team. They just happen to be down 3-1.
Why? Because they're favorite. Why are they the better? Walk me through.
They're 7-point favorites in this game. They are clearly, based on the markets, a better basketball team than the Lakers.
So
we just did this with Miami and Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different, though, in this case. It's a 3-1 game. These odds
it's a 7-point line.
I'm just saying the odds are baking in the fact that it's an elimination game in Golden State.
Yeah, that's worth a half point at best.
Okay. So Warriors win this game.
Yeah.
Well, actually, hold on a second. The Warriors were 3-point dogs, 3.5-point dogs in LA, right?
2.5, I think, is the last line that I have typed in.
I saw some 3.5s out there, but maybe it moved to 2.5. Okay. Warriors, 7 points. What do you think the line is then if it goes to 3-2 back to LA?
2.5.
All right. Warriors don't say what you want. They don't look good. They're like they did right now. This series, they don't look good. This is not a good matchup for them. They don't look good.
Play's just been so bad.
Who?
Play's been so bad. Yep. Looney's become a non-factor. I don't know what's going on there. Last man off the
bench last game. Last guy off the bench was Kevon Looney.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Well, we can get into all of it.
It's really weird.
We can get into all of it. Yep.
We got a lot it's a lot. I mean, look, we've got two teams down 3-1 hosting playoff games today as favorites. I'm very intrigued by the way that this breaks. I can see that, I think everybody probably looks at this one the same way. Most people probably think the Warriors win this one. They don't go away losing at home as the defending champs.
I'm not convinced that's going to happen.
And then the Knicks just pack it in because they're soft. That's the consensus thought process for today, right?
Yep. But But
I don't know where it actually goes.
But I'm not sure I agree with it, Josh. I'm really not. The Warriors actually look discombobulated right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers put the dagger in them here. I really wouldn't be shocked by that. I think 7 points is a lot, given how this series has gone. I think 7 points is a lot.
I think Golden State rolls the Lakers today because I just don't think I don't want to say it like this is going to sound so first takey. I don't mean it like this. I'm sensationalizing it to get my point across. I don't think the Lakers give a shit about this game. Like, I think they're going to be in neutral. They're going to be in cruise control. They're going to gear up, like maybe not go the full bore here so that LeBron can just go balls to the wall for game 6. Like I don't think that he can just let it rip, because if he lets it rip here and they're wrong, he's in a bad way in 2 days. So the way that I see this going for the Lakers is like they're picking their spots, and I just don't think this is the spot they pick.
But why? You could get some serious rest for LeBron James if they win this game.
Right, but we're talking about a scenario where on paper they are not likely to do so. 7-point dogs that's a real negative number. Like if they're close, you dial it up in the fourth quarter. But I think you're going to see a lot of like not active first half LeBron.
I mean, maybe Sixers were 7.5 point dogs yesterday. It's not, 7 points is a lot in the playoffs. It's the furthest thing from insurmountable, though. Like, it's the furthest thing from not being able to compete and just get an outright win, right? So I get what you're saying, but I think if this game is competitive at halftime, if this game is competitive midway through the third quarter, there's no reason to believe that LeBron and AD aren't playing their full allotment of minutes and looking to knock them off.
I agree. I don't think they're not playing their full allotment of minutes one way or the other. But you're getting a lot of LeBron not really participating defensively. You're getting a lot of AD taking significant chunks of time off on the offensive end. I think that they are live to dial that up a bit so that they are ultra fresh for going back to LA.
It's such a strange take.
Okay.
Like, if they have to play 40, I'm not saying it's strange that you think that the Warriors could roll them. They're at home. They're 7-point favorites. But that you would think that they could play their full minutes and wouldn't just go all out. Like, if you're still going to be on the floor for 40 plus minutes.
We watch LeBron do it all the time.
I know, but it still seems pretty counterintuitive in a game where they could eliminate the Golden State Warriors to just be like, all right, well, we'll play every minute we normally do, but we'll get them next time.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. I think you're going to see very passive LeBron and Anthony Davis tonight. And I don't necessarily blame him.
And just seed this game?
Sort of. See how it's going. Play it out. Like you just they're not going to go crazy out of the gate. Look, if they're shooting their way into the game by halftime, then you've got a different scenario. But like, I think it's going to be really light work in the first half.
But what I'm saying is they have been the better team this series.
They have won more games.
I didn't say they have been the better team.
Yeah, they're 3-1 in the series so far.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, it's very possible that this game just it's not only just that, though. I mean, they've won. They smoked them by 30 in game 3. They got.
I'm not saying that I think they're just showing up to lose the game. That's not what I'm saying at all.
It sounds like it.
It's not. It's not. But their priority is game 6, not game 5.
So, all right.
Dude, we saw how gassed LeBron and AD were down the stretch. They put AD in a lot of actions in game 4. A lot. And he had nothing left in the tank.
They should just sit their starters today.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, just sit the starters. We'll get them. Hey, boys, we'll get them on Friday. We'll get them on Friday.
Look, they got to pick their spots. This is not 31-year-old LeBron James.
Oh, I know. He's also a freak. I'm not necessarily sure he's human, but. Well, we get to talk about Miami today, Josh, and the New York Knicks. This is always enjoyable.
No, it's not.
No, not at all. Bennett asked me if I watched that game, and I explained that you had referred to it as a piece of shit.
It's true.
And No, I also did not watch that game. Watching as many as I can. That one just wasn't necessarily on the radar that day. I don't think I missed a bunch. As far as I could tell, it was just a full game of the New York Knicks, literally forgetting, I shouldn't say literally, forgetting how to rebound, just forgetting entirely how to rebound the basketball. And it was ugly. Jacob, did you watch the Knicks game? No. Yeah. No, see, nobody watched the Knicks game. But you've got Jimmy Butler, the worst, best player on a team, as some may affectionately refer to him as, the worst tier 1 player in the league, which is good reason to not like the man and actually wish ill upon his family, as Josh stated earlier.
Yes.
So highest owned player on the Miami Heat today, 33% optimal, 29%. By the way, none of the Miami Heat are getting insane ownership. You know, it's Bam, it's it's Butler. We will get to Max Strus. Don't you worry about that. Josh had some choice words for those who played him the other day. But I want to start it off with Jimmy Butler, 9,700. And just to provide some context before you dig into the Heat, because this is super important in understanding where ownership's coming from. You have Davis at 10-6, LeBron at 9-8. They probably won't play tonight. And then Steph Curry at 10,000. Then Butler at 9,700. Then it falls off to 8,700 Brunson, $8,200 Randall. So essentially, can you prioritize Butler today among other guys who are similarly priced?
I think he's properly owned. He's 29.2% in our ownership. I got him at 29.3. I think he looks fine. 9,700. You know, I'm figuring something in the neighborhood of 39 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. I have no problems at all getting to Butler. I mean, the two guys that are getting high 20s in ownership are Butler and Bam. They're the two guys that should. I don't have a ton of interest in most of Miami here. I'm light on Vincent. I won't be getting to Max Strus, who, like I told you guys 2 days ago, was the worst play on the slate. Just because it succeeded doesn't make it good. He's still not a good play again today. I think Caleb Martin is certainly more interesting than Strus, and that bears out in the ownership. He's twice as owned. Like Lowry is 5,300. I think he's the proper price. Kevin Love's 4,700. He plays 22 minutes every single night. I think he's properly owned at best. I barely got to these guys. I'm in mid 20s for Butler and Bam. I got to 10% of Caleb Martin. I got to 8% of Gabe Vincent. It's just a really hard game and a really hard side to want to get to. Their prices have all stabilized. Someone gets weird minutes, whether that's Strus, whether that's Lowry, whether that's Vincent, whether that's Martin. Someone's going to step in and just play 34 minutes, and they're probably the dude you want from Miami. But right now, I think that all of those guys don't look very interesting.
Nice.
I mean, look at like Vincent, the last 30 days, 0.67, Strus, 0.67, Martin, 0.72. These guys are terrible per minute guys.
They're awful. And they also have just inconsistency, have volatility in the playing time on top of not being good per minute producers. It doesn't help at all. Bryce Kevin in chat said he agrees with you, by the way. He agrees with you. And he was saying, go bet Lakers +7 and LeBron and AD overs and come crying tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't love the over on player props for the Lakers. But he also said, Josh, then tell your slumlord you can't make rent and enjoy a McDouble, bundle, and a small Coke. I just must point out, McDonald's is not very cheap anymore. I'm not sure if you've bought fast food recently. If you're going in for a decent meal on your own, what do you think you're paying? Because I know you hit up the king once in a while. If you go in for a meal just by yourself, a decent sized meal, sometimes you're coming out at like $18.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's gourmet dining now.
It's not. Yeah. You remember you used
to
go.
Well, the problem is, like, I probably don't need 3 double cheeseburgers.
No, but all right. So I remember as a kid, I could go and go to Wendy's and I could get the junior bacon cheeseburger. I get 2 of those and, a small fry or something where you go and you get the $1 cheeseburger, $1 double cheeseburger at McDonald's. You remember that you could be filled up for the day on like $5. Times have changed, man. You're serious. If you go I haven't been there in a little while, but last time I was there, I'm pretty sure it was $15, $16 for myself. And that was just like a medium number 7 or something. I'm telling you, it's out of control now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dropping 15 at Chick-fil-A on a pretty regular basis.
On your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. You go to McDonald's for a family, and it's a mortgage payment for some of them.
You can make such a better meal by not going to McDonald's at this point, just by picking up, a pound of ground beef, some buns,
I do it
grab
all
a
the
bag of
time.
frozen fries or something like that. You're
Do it all the
making a
time.
much better meal than
Yeah.
McDonald's.
And you won't be shitting your brains out in the morning either.
Well, that's the best part of McDonald's.
No,
No,
that's the worst, man.
everybody loves a good dump, dude.
That is the worst.
Yeah.
That's what they always make the argument of like, well, good food is too expensive. I mean, the argument should really be that some of those people that are working 5 jobs don't actually have time to come home and cook everything. But if you were to go and get a pound or 2 of ground beef and just, a little seasoning or whatever, mince some onions, some garlic, throw them in there. I did it the other day. It's delicious, right? It's not, it's definitely right now. It's definitely cheaper than fast food. I feel pretty confident saying that.
Yeah. Unless you're just getting like you straight out dollar burger. Like that's,
but they're not even, I don't think they're $1 anymore. I think they're a whole lot more than that now.
I don't get it ever. So,
but yeah, who knows?
I'm a Nuggets guy. I'm not a burger guy.
Yeah, I know you're a Nuggets guy, but I'm a big burger guy. Big fan of the burgers.
No.
Well,
I'm a big burger guy, not at those places.
What's that?
I'm a burger guy, just not at fast food restaurants.
Right. I'll tell you what isn't expensive though. The MLB
lineup generator.
The MLB lineup generator. Yeah. Less than $4.
Hey, can we do this one today?
Yes, we can. Yes,
nice.
We can.
Nice. That's fun.
Fantastic segue, by the way. And you were there for it. You saw it coming. You saw it coming.
Sure did.
In all seriousness though, it's less than $4.50 a week. Less than $4.50 for your first week. You can set your stack type, which is awesome. Whether you want to do like a 5-2-1, a 4-4, a 4-3-1, you could set that. Then you can decide whether you want to lock pitchers or lock hitters. You can decide what else, Josh? Oh, what kind of contest? Whether you want, tournament, cash, or of course, whether you're looking to go with balanced lineups, contrarian lineups, all of that. And then you get them. You see the projected ownership on every lineup. You see what the projection is on the lineup, where it is compared to the optimal, how chalky or contrarian your lineups are. You're getting stacks from whatever across the board because you can discard as many of them as you want. Then you can save as many of them as you want. Then you can upload all of them to CSV. If you've been loving the NBA lineup generator or you didn't try it because maybe you got in late and you're like, hey, it's late in the season, MLB lineup generator, I think, is going to be way more powerful because when it comes to baseball, this is why it took us so long to get it out, because with the correlation in baseball, it takes a lot of fine tuning. So with it being out now, less than $4.50 a week, I think it's well worth a shot for anyone, but specifically those of you maybe who don't have a ton of time in the day. Even if you're only playing $2, $3 a day, you're looking at it going, okay, that's $4.47 for the first week. It's just, it pays for itself. And if you don't like it, you've lost essentially nothing, but you got to check it out. I think you'll
less
love
than a McDonald's or Burger King meal.
Way less.
Yeah.
It's probably, if you were to go get a Dave's single hot and juicy, I think that's what, right? Hot and juicy.
Is that what you call it?
That's
Dave's single
babe.
hot and juicy.
Hey, babe. Yeah. Ready for the hot and juicy today? And yeah, you could charge a premium for that, Josh.
I assume they're getting the cold and dry.
No, this one only comes around anyway.
Like Haley's comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. But no, if you think of it in that context, yeah, it's probably less than a Starbucks. I don't know who drinks Starbucks coffee other than Josh, but it's less than a Starbucks coffee for the week. Plus, it's actually an investment. You drink the coffee, you feel okay for a little bit, and then you got to get one the next day with this. Real chance to win some money. So check it out, man. It's awesome. Oh, and it's optimized for mobile, which is huge. So you're sitting on the can, firing off a hot and juicy dump after work.
I don't want it to be juicy.
No, steamy would be nice. The hot and steamy is nice.
I don't even know. Warm. I don't know about hot.
Okay, you don't want to burn.
Yeah.
Just a warm and steamy dump, and you sit there and you go, let me pull the lineup generator up. It's close to lock. I worked late today. And boom, plug those lineups in. You're ready to rock. Link is in the description and in chat. Jacob, Ken already did throw that into the chat as well. So check it out. And as always, guys, if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are open. What do you want to do with the rest of Miami? Like, is this kind of cut and dry where you just have a bunch of guys where you get a few pieces of them and think maybe it'll be their day? Like Lowry played 25 minutes in back-to-back games now, 25 and 26.
Yep. And I think that's how, I don't think it's really all that difficult to project the minutes to these guys.
You're probably right. Outside of somebody just really heating up, which you can run that risk in any game. Daniel House had 10 and 5 and 1 yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It can happen in any game if a player's playing well and it's unexpected, and there's not really much you can do for that to account for that pre-flop.
Right. Like Duncan Robinson was getting some threes up in the last game. They just didn't go. They kept getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Like they can just start falling, and all of a sudden Duncan Robinson looks mildly more interesting than Max Strus, or Caleb Martin is aggressive getting to the hoop at 4,200. Like I like Martin the most of the non-Butler Bam guys, but I don't think that these guys look all that dissimilar. And the ownership bears that out. Highest owned guy is Caleb Martin at 18%. Lowest owned is Strus at 7%. I don't disagree with anything there. If you've got a guy that you like in this group, go for it. I'm thinking like maybe the more likely scenario is that none of Vincent, Strus, Martin, Lowry, or Love are in the optimal. You're probably getting one, but if you feel confident in who that is, you're crazy. These guys are not the best plays of the slate. These are like 10 to 15%ers at best. Roll the dice. Someone's going to fall into extra minutes. I don't have a great feel for who it is. Right now, I'm getting more Caleb Martin. Maybe it's Gabe Vincent. Maybe it's Strus again. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. Stick to Butler and Bam.
All right. Bam, 7,600. It's been a turbulent postseason for Bam Adebayo.
It has. I mean, look, as much as everybody wants to talk a ton of shit about Bam, 1.07 fantasy points per minute over the past 30 days. He's basically been himself the entire time.
Of course, but what it comes down to is just the bias that you see in certain games. Yeah. Certain performances where you go, man, what's going on with this guy? And then it turns out that he's been
thing. Have you seen his stocks for this series?
Non-existent, I assume.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if it's just because he's playing defense in a different way, that he just has so much responsibility that it's like essential. He went through a little stretch where he got three stocks in 2 of 3 games, but 1-1-1-0 over the past 4 games.
When you're a big man, that doesn't help you at all, especially when you're a good but not great rebounder.
The piece that's more interesting to me, he had 2 fouls this most recent game. He ended up with 4 the game before that. He did have the foul trouble for 5 previous to that, but he had 1 the game before. If Bam's not picking up fouls, he probably needs to be more aggressive defensively, especially in like the second half of games. But at the same time, I don't really need to tell Bam Adebayo what's what. You know, they're up 3-1. It seems.
I was going to say they're winning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only game they lost was without Jimmy Butler, and they lost by 6.
Yeah.
They're better. They're much better than this Knicks team for sure.
Yeah.
Which is
no doubt.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've got to play the living shit out of the Knicks today.
Yeah, I know, man. Randall Grimes played a boatload of minutes last game. Josh Hart came off the bench and was limited to very few minutes in that one. Mitchell Robinson, as we discussed on the show, you had pointed out that you thought he could get back to that bigger playing time. He played 33 minutes last game. Highly underwhelming, but the playing time was certainly there. There's a lot to get into for the Knicks, just from an ownership perspective and from an optimal perspective. They look a lot better collectively than the Miami Heat tonight.
I don't know how you don't play an absolute ton of these guys. There's no way around it. They're pulling a bunch of ownership, and to me, they absolutely should. Highest owned guy right now is Julius Randle. 55%.
I thought it would be Grimes, honestly.
I mean, it's close enough. 55.
I just thought 4,400. I thought it would be Grimes.
8,200 for Randle. Well, the minutes are back for Randle. Last 3 games, 38, 38, 39. So we've established him again. To me, he's very clearly the best option from the Knicks. I got 58%. I will be jamming in Randle. He's one of the 3 best plays of the day. I agree with the Grimes ownership. 50% owned. That's where I have him. I went 34 minutes to Grimes. I assume that he starts again 4,400 for a shooting guard small forward looks great. The only guy that I have basically no interest in is Josh Hart. And that said, I think he's interesting as a pay up to be contrarian option if he's really 5% owned, but he is an actively bad play at 5,800. There's only one reason you're rostering him, and that's because of the ownership. But you should be getting as far away from him. If Max Strus wasn't the worst play 2 nights ago, Josh Hart was. He was like 28% owned by non-maxers and like 6% owned by maxers. They're not going to be there again tonight if he's coming off the bench. Interesting relationship between Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein again. I think you can play them both in the same lineup if you want to. Slightly more ownership coming into Mitch, 4,900. Hartenstein at 3,500. Good luck projecting the minutes. I went 28-20. Could just as easily be, 32 and 16, and you're not going to be all that surprised by it. But I'm happy to get to both centers. Get to Brunson, even on the bad wing or bad ankle at 8,700. Get to Barrett at 6K. It's just, these guys have great prices. We've got no quickly. They're not doing anything else with their rotation, or at least they haven't. Miles McBride played 4 minutes. Toppin played 5.5. They're just playing these same guys as much as they possibly can. It's hard to avoid that kind of playing time.
It really is. And this is down 3-1, do or die. Justin mentioned that Quentin Grimes got so many minutes because Josh Hart fouled out. Yeah, he did get additional minutes as a result, but even when Josh Hart was in the first half and played considerable minutes, he played, I think, 15 straight minutes in the first half. Yeah. Grimes still paced 34 minutes. He played 17 minutes in the first half. So I think the 34-minute projection you have for him, assuming that, he's on track to close again, and makes sense. I don't know. I mean, Randall fouled out. So I guess there are a couple factors here. Yeah. But it seems like Grimes' first half rotation would suggest that he's probably still going to play well over 30 minutes again.
Yeah, there's not really any mechanism to think that he's not going to play 30 plus.
These guys,
they just don't have the bodies to not do that either. Like, I went 30 to Josh Hart. I think that's a pretty aggressive projection given, where we ended up.
How many minutes? Let's do this. How many minutes are you giving to these guys today? Obviously I don't want to get into the McBride or Toppin, but the guys who we could see playing considerable minutes, and you can throw Hartenstein in there to pick up whatever Mitchell Robinson isn't getting to.
I went 40 to Brunson, 38 to Randall, 36 to Barrett, 34 to Grimes, 30 to Hart, 28-20 for Robinson and Hartenstein, backup run to Toppin and McBride.
Okay. Favorite plays from each side of this game? Or would you say your top 3 plays from this game all come from the Knicks?
I have more Robinson, Grimes, Randall, Hartenstein, and Brunson than I do anybody from the Heat.
All right.
And I have Barrett like I have Bam and Jimmy. The only guy that I'm not getting to that plays real minutes for the Knicks is Josh Hart.
Let's talk about the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. The LA Lakers, by the way, almost at 100 likes. Thank you, guys. We're 9 away. We shall get there. We shall cruise to that quickly, probably before 10:40 on the East Coast.
Yeah,
which is nice. Thank you. Lakers, Golden State Warriors. So LA, 7-point dogs today. They're now I'm real curious to see where you come in on the Lakers, just given your thoughts from earlier in the show about how this game could play out. But it's not like Anthony Davis is getting a ton of ownership to begin with. 18% on DraftKings. LeBron James 29%, 34% optimal. So there's some positive leverage on both of those guys. Nothing dramatic, but it's there. Let's start with those two, and then we can work our way through the backcourt with Russell and Reeves and Schroeder.
Hard to really pin down anything for AD and LeBron. AD 10-6, LeBron's 9,800. I think AD is pretty clearly the better play, just from like a raw points perspective. The ownership is flipped. I think that's mostly positional. I'd rather flip the ownership. So it's 28 to LeBron, 18 to AD. I have 28 to AD and 18 to LeBron. But ultimately, we kind of know what we're getting there. And I don't see either one of them as a major priority. But if I'm going to anybody, I hope it's AD. I'm happy to pay up to that 10-6 price tag. I am just like relatively neutral to those two pay up guys, though. And as I mentioned before, I am a little nervous about the Lakers. That will play absolutely no role in the way that I make my DFS lineups, though. I just want to be clear here. My thought process of how the Lakers playing in second gear or whatever is meaningless to me for DFS.
Oh, okay. So you're not factoring that in whatsoever today.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
The things that I think in my head should not be applied to DFS. That's going to be not good.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with betting. It's the same thing.
Right.
Same process. It doesn't mean, though, that once in a while you won't find something that you actually do have a small edge on. It does happen. It absolutely happens. Where you end, you're right. Your thinking was right. The foresight was there, and then the books or the sites adjust after that. But it's not all the time. And yeah, if you're playing for LeBron James and Anthony Davis to be in second gear, it's probably not a process you're looking to pursue. What about Russell and Reeves, though? Both of them 30% today. Honestly, all series long, they've been pretty popular plays at their respective price points. Point guard, shooting guard eligibility for both of them. And then you have Schroeder at 24% as well.
Yeah, I like all three of these guys just for different reasons. Austin Reeves, though, to me is the clear top option. They want him out there. Looked decent enough, even physically limited a little bit, but was trying to create his own shot, was able to find his threes. He's 30% owned. I have a pretty big stand on Reeves. I'm a bit higher than that. He is my most exposed Laker. We saw D'Angelo Russell find a nice comfy seat on the bench to close out, which is what I was expecting for this series, and finally came to roost, where if his offense isn't working as well as you want it to, he is going to sit his ass on the bench because he sucks defensively. And that is exactly what happened. They did not go to D'Angelo Russell to close out this most recent game. He seems to be pretty well stuck at that 30, 31 minute range. I think 30% ownership for him is a little too high. If the shot's falling, he could play his way into 35 minutes. Not what I'm expecting here. Schroeder gets the benefit of those minutes when they want to go to a defensive lean down the stretch. So I think the 20-something% ownership is great there. Lonnie Walker up to 4K. He was the hero on Monday. Just went absolutely nuts in the fourth quarter to save him and to save the team. Shooting guard, small forward, 4K. Only 8% owned. I think it's pretty clear he's under-owned there, but I do want to pump the brakes. He's still Lonnie Walker. He's a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy normally. Don't expect him to just make everything that he does, but he is getting slept on a little bit for reasons I'm not sure of. Just 7.5% ownership. Can't imagine wanting to go to Vanderbilt or Rui right now. They seem to be getting, I don't want to say phased out. That's not the way that I want to talk about it, because there's some minutes to go around for this team, but they don't appear to be giant priorities after these past couple games.
Did you see did you see RG3's tweet about Lonnie Walker and Kobe?
All the fucking numbers bullshit.
Just I mean,
he's been doing that a lot now, man. That they should not put him on the air for anything.
He went full QAnon.
That's not his first numerology tweet.
It was out of control, though. Jacob, if you could pull that up and put it on the screen for anyone that hasn't seen that, it was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. And it wasn't even, sometimes you go, okay, that's kind of neat, right? And maybe you do it just kind of tongue in cheek, like, hey, look at this. I don't think there was a sarcastic or joking bone in his body.
I think he's 100% serious.
Me too. Did he delete it? Hold on. No. Let me see if I can find this. Here it is. Here it is. So Lonnie Walker's performance in the fourth quarter was out of this world. The last Lakers player to score 15 or more points off the bench in the fourth quarter of a playoff game was Kobe Bryant 26 years ago in 1997. Lonnie's 24 now. We know it was you, Bean. We miss you. And then hasn't happened since 97, 26 years ago. 1 + 9 + 9 + 7 is 26. Okay. 2 + 6 = 8. Kobe's number. 2 - 6 equals -4. Lonnie's number. Lonnie Walker. I mean, if there was ever a reach, is to grab the -4 and call it his number. 24, Kobe's number, and Walker's age. Lonnie Walker was ready when his number was called and delivered a win Lakers fans won't soon forget. -4, -4.
I refuse to acknowledge any of this.
-4. Yeah,
it's insane. It's preposterous. It's preposterous. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that anybody gives him a platform to do anything.
Lonnie needs to go out there today and put some tape next to the 4 and just go straight -4.
Yeah, you should treat him like the clown that he is.
What an insane thing.
That's a simple mind.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Like everything else, whatever, fine. It's stupid. But the reach on 2 - 6 equals -4 is next level gold on Twitter. No, he should keep tweeting that stuff. It's awesome. And it makes for great entertainment.
No. They should fire him from every job that he has.
Let's wrap this up with the Golden State Warriors. Before we do, though, shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks. I should have checked to see if somebody won yesterday.
Oh, I didn't. That's for sure. Thanks, Jamal Murray.
Let's see. It was Taco Tuesday yesterday, so we know that much. Okay, so here we go. Keyshawn had the picks. Let's see how he did, Josh.
Okay.
And for what it's worth, Prize Picks is doing the $1 million to someone, chance to win $1 million every day throughout the NBA playoffs. All you do is you enter one lineup in the 6-pick flex play. And if you do that, one random person is getting picked every day with a shot to win $1 million. Prize Picks gives you a 6-pick flex play. If you hit all 6, you get $1 million. You hit 5, I think it's 80,000. If you hit 4, it's 16,000. We put the link in the description and in chat. You're also getting 100% first match deposit bonus up to $100. So if you put 100 in, you've got 200 now. Free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. Every tool from every sport that we have on the board across every single sport, every tool that we have. You've seen the Hall of Fame channel or video every day. You've seen what happens when people use these tools. You don't even have to pay for them. You get them for free when you sign up and deposit at Prize Picks. Got to use the link so we can track you. $120 value, every single tool we have. And if you hate it, at the end of the day, at the end of the free month, you can wash your hands clean. Although I don't think you will. You got the premium Discord access too. So be sure to jump into that. Here we go. See, these guys always go overs. They just straight, he went with 1 under, but Devin Booker, this must be a miserable sweat, man. Miserable.
Gotta be awful.
Devin Booker over 45.5 PRA. I actually was on the under Devin Booker 46.5 PRA yesterday. That worked out nicely. Took it a day in advance. Kevin Durant over 14.5 rebounds and assists. What did he have?
I don't know.
He had 18. All right. Al Horford over 6 rebounds. 5. Malcolm Brogdon over 22 PRA. Michael Porter Jr. over 7.5 rebounds plus assists. Yes. And Cameron Payne under 11.5 points plus rebounds. 9. So wait, did he get 4? He got Durant? No, he only got 3. Well, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for playing. But here's the great thing. Even if you were Keyshawn and you had signed up through us, it's Stokastic using the link, you can go to sleep easy knowing you got a free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum and a first match deposit bonus up to $100. You know what I mean, Josh? That's a pretty nice consolation prize.
It's a great consolation prize. Some might say it's the best thing that you can get.
Some might argue that's the case. Yes. And then he can go on, use these in tournaments, and who knows, maybe he can right those wrongs and go and win something big using the tools. Yeah, man. Check it out. Link in the description and in chat. And of course, if Prize Picks isn't available to you, the BetMGM promo is down there as well. You bet $10 when you sign up and deposit $10. Whether you win or lose, doesn't matter. You're getting the free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum there as well. So don't feel left out and you're not in a Prize Picks eligible state. We got you on BetMGM. And they also include the first bet insurance up to $1,000. You get everything back in bonus bets if your first bet loses up to $1,000. So Prize Picks, BetMGM, you want to get your foot in the door at Stokastic, utilize these tools. You see all the avatars of Stokastic at the top of the leaderboard. Well, now you can do it for free. And of course, must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, go ahead, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Call for your friend. All right. Golden State Warriors. I have fun reviewing these Prize Picks $1 million cards just to see what type of people are on them.
Hell yeah.
Like you can tell what people are just spraying each day.
Most.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. That is a fact. We have the Pick'em Pro tool. I would literally just go in there and sort by expected win rate. And I would just take the top 6 because that's long-term how you're going to win. It's kind of boring. I get it. It's kind of boring, Josh, You know
what's not boring, dude?
Money.
Winning money. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
I would much rather find my fun somewhere else and have more money in my pocket than think that, that game was more exciting, but I lose 10% of everything I do because I would suck dick at this.
Win betting the boring way. Use the money to go do things the fun way.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Buy a jet ski. All right, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors.
Kenny Powers.
It's always just like whenever you see movies or shows and there's people that are, spending frivolously, isn't it always the jet ski that they buy first?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't blame. I get it. I'm gonna be out there like Kenny Powers.
Like, and remember the movie Identity Thief with Melissa McCarthy and Jason Bateman?
No.
Oh, well, he checks his. Jacob knows what I'm talking about. He checks.
Why would I watch that garbage?
And she bought a jet ski. Yeah.
Why would I watch that garbage?
It was kind of a funny movie, if I recall correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it sucked. I don't know. But she bought a jet ski.
It's Melissa McCarthy. How is that going to be any good?
What?
What?
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
That's the worst take ever.
One good role in her entire history. We're just gonna
hold on.
We're gonna give her flowers for Bridesmaids and act like she deserves them for anything else.
All right, that's the only place I was going with this. Now we've come back we found some middle ground. Melissa McCarthy, though, in Bridesmaids was one of the best roles. Forget about anything else she's done. I largely agree with you. Her role in Bridesmaids as Megan was one of the greatest roles you'll ever. When she's in the airplane, you feel that heat coming from my undercarriage, and when she's talking about the huge black guy smoking the pipe. She's like, "Oh, this must be your fella," and she's talking about.
It's great. She's great. Look, you're not getting any complaints out of me.
That was a great role. That's all I'm saying.
I agree completely.
Oh, this must be your fella.
But you making it sound like I should have immediately seen Identity Thief in 2013. No.
All I was saying is I thought you were going to go off on everything she's done, including Bridesmaids, was bad. That's all. That's what I thought. That's where I thought you were going with that.
No, I'll give you Bridesmaids.
Great movie. And the cop, I forget his name. I don't know his name. He very, very, very fun movie. Very fun.
Are you saying that to screw with me?
Why?
I get Chris O'Dowd. Are you the guy from Bridesmaids in my real life?
Do you really?
I get asked if I am the dude from Bridesmaids. That is the prevailing current you look like this person for me.
You should learn how to speak with an English accent and just throw him for a loop.
Should I? Well, he's not English, so.
Right, but they wouldn't know that because obviously they're saying, are you the guy from Bridesmaids? They don't even know his name.
Well, yeah, I can barely remember it half the time, but
yeah, I didn't know it. Is that
I don't have an Irish accent in my back pocket.
Oh, it was Irish. You're right. It was Irish. Is that the only good all-female movie that you've ever seen? Like leading female.
I just figured that was the first one they ever made.
Well, I'm like I would assume the new Ghostbusters wasn't exactly a smash hit.
I don't think I can name another one.
Because Bridesmaids is it's really one of my favorite comedies. But I don't. Well, when I say favorite, I'm talking like rewatchability is very easy on that. That's how I gauge comedies for me. Rewatch. Can I rewatch it many times and still enjoy it? The answer to that is yes. I
agree. I don't think they gave women those sorts of opportunities. I don't know I can't think of a second movie.
Jacob said Mean Girls. Was that a comedy? Because I mean, that's a classic movie. It is a classic movie.
Yeah, it's a different kind of movie.
I feel like it's a different kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was that like Girls Night Out movie or something like that. That was another flop. The Ghostbusters one. I mean, you probably should stay away from remaking regular movies with and just switching all the cast up.
Oh, like Ocean's 8?
Oh yeah, that was one too. Shane Gillis has a great joke on that.
Is it Gillis about how that crime would have lasted 10 minutes?
Yep. Yep.
Is it Gillis?
No, it's not.
I don't think it's Gillis.
No, it's not. It's not Shane Gillis.
It's somebody. I don't think it is, but it's somebody in that sphere where basically like they would have walked in, they would have gave a hoo-hoo to the guards, and all of a sudden they would have just had whatever they wanted.
It's not Tim Dillon.
No, it's not Dylan.
It's not Big J.
Mm-mm. But
who was
I don't think it's Gillis.
I'm gonna think about this. Let's talk about the Warriors here. I will get this because I've heard that joke during the special a couple of times. That's kind of not a Shane Gillis type of joke anyway, now that I think about it. It wasn't Norm.
Mm-mm.
Someone in chat will know who it was. Someone will think about that.
Mulaney had that joke, but it's not who I'm thinking of.
It's not who I'm thinking of either. Someone will let us know. Usually there's someone. Usually, Joseph said you guys haven't seen the Professional Softball League movie. No, I'll think of that. Start me off on the Warriors here when we're talking about a little bit of Stephen Curry. I mentioned all the high priced guys earlier. Curry is 40. The ownership on Golden State, for what it's worth, is crazy right now. Dre, Peyton, Wiggins, Thompson, and Curry, all of them, 45+% ownership on 5 players today, presumably the 5 starters, if they go with the same lineup as last time.
I'm going to get to them in a second. By the way, Pitch Perfect is another essentially all-female movie. Excellent.
Jacob went like this, and I must say, I love Pitch Perfect.
It's catchy as shit, isn't it?
That's a great movie.
I like them all, but they're not as good, but I like the music. You know me, man. I love music.
Yeah. Listen, I can get into that stuff. Like Justine and I watch that stuff quite because that stuff's always on TV. It'll be like Pitch Perfect, Bridesmaids, Step Brothers. Rebel Wilson in that as Fat Amy was great.
It's
great. I don't think you can make a movie now with like someone called Fat Amy, but that's why they don't make these good movies anymore. Remember, Rebel Wilson it had a hilarious role in Bridesmaids where she gets the Mexican drinking slug or whatever, and she starts dropping the peas out of the bag on the tattoo.
And she's bathing with that other dude, her brother. By the way, would you rather have Rebel Wilson now or Rebel Wilson when she was in Pitch Perfect?
What does she look like now?
Drop them LBs.
I feel like my take would be very, very is that her?
You and I.
Hey, good for her, man.
I think you and I are on the same page, though.
They're not as funny when you're not as fat.
We're taking Fat Amy.
I'll say it. I'll say the quiet part out loud. They're not as funny when they're not as fat.
Oh no, I didn't mean.
That's what I'm saying. But I
agree with you, but I didn't. That's not the question I'm asking you. I'm not asking you. Would you rather watch her in cinema now or then?
Stop it, man! Get out of here with that shit.
I'm going Pitch Perfect, Amy, for sure. Yeah,
no way.
Pitch Perfect, Rebel for sure.
No way. What? When
no,
she's
it's
up
not
there,
even. I don't think it's close.
When she's up there on the when she's
it's a no doubter for me
in the opening scene. Now, I'm fully supportive of everybody getting healthy because I think there's nothing more insane than people shaming overweight people when they lose weight. That is the most ass backwards process in all of the world right now. So I'm all about it. Jonah Hill, you look great, pal. You know, Rebel Wilson, Melissa McCarthy. But you can't tell me Jonah Hill wasn't funnier when he was fatter. Like that was some of the appeal. And that's just everybody knows it. Jonah Hill in Wolf of Wall Street. Jonah Hill's, in my opinion, one of the best actors of my lifetime. Agreed. That's how good I think Jonah Hill is. Say what you want.
Ask me about my wiener.
Oh, that was a great one. Yeah. I forgot all about that with Justin Long.
Yeah, great movie. Accepted.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Seriously, though.
People yell at me when I say that he's so good. Like War Dogs. War Dogs is such an underrated movie that everyone needs to watch with him and Miles Teller. Everyone needs to watch that movie.
But seriously, though, bigger Rebel Wilson is the choice. Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking about
so much extra skin now.
All right, I'm moving on. Golden State Warriors.
There's so much extra skin.
I
bet it's a thrill pitch perfect time. You have fun.
Well, I think that's just par for the course.
Yeah.
Draymond, Peyton, Wiggins, what a ridiculous question. Thompson and Curry, 45+% ownership today. The funny thing too, though, is you look at the optimal score in our boom bust tool, -24 on Dre, -11 on Wiggins, -10 on Curry. I'm not sure how much that means on a 2-game slate, but I'll let you break this one down. How much of this Warriors squad are you getting to today?
All of it. This is the clear best team that you can get to today. There's, to me, no argument. 45% ownership to Curry, Wiggins, Thompson, 50+ to Draymond and Peyton. And I agree with all of it. I've got 60+ of Wiggins, 60+ of Draymond, 60+ of Peyton, 55 of Clay. I'm a little lighter on Steph right now. I'm just sort of spreading out the pay up options, but I don't mind the ownership at all. I think he's a hair over owned, but still looks great. I think Moses Moody at 14% ownership, 3,200 shooting guard is getting slept on pretty aggressively. I think Dante DiVincenzo getting me 28 minutes is really interesting in comparison to Moody. I don't know why DiVincenzo is so significantly more popular than Moody. I would flip those two. But Curry, Wiggins, Thompson, Draymond, Gary Payton, you should be playing those guys in abundance, probably 2 of them in every lineup, if not 3. This is the team that I have the most of.
And I think you have to, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy to say, like, and you probably don't get to Jordan Poole or Kevon Looney.
How can you project Kevon Looney for any significant playing time right now? The only question I have for you with Looney is, do you think it's possible? We need to at least discuss this, whether you say it's a resounding no, there's no chance, or hey, mate, because he's 2% owned. And we know that Kevon Looney on a per minute basis has been fantastic in the postseason. We know he's been a monster on the boards. We know this matchup isn't great for him, but we also know that the Golden State Warriors have now dropped 2 straight games without Looney playing considerable minutes. So, right, like maybe Steve Kerr looks to make some adjustments here. Again, some secondary adjustments. Kevon Looney's down to 4,800. How many minutes with his postseason production? How many minutes do you need from Kevon Looney to pay off 4,800? We have to at least have this conversation.
I gave him 16. He showed up in my sim 1% of the time.
Okay, but I'm saying how many minutes do you think he needs to be optimal at 2? He's 2% ownership, $4,800.
24.
What do you think the possibility is that he gets to 24 today?
Low.
Okay, so you don't think Steve Kerr is willing to make those type of adjustments?
No, I don't. I really don't. This seems like it's like a conscious decision. I don't see the path for it. I don't know where they come from. I don't know who they're taking those minutes from. They're not coming from Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, Green. The guy that played the most minutes was Gary Payton at 23 in the most recent game. I don't think those minutes are going anywhere. I don't know where you get the minutes for Looney at this point.
Okay. I had to ask, though, just because that price is dropping considerably on Looney right now.
Yeah. Like, it would be a huge surprise to me. I don't think it's a crazy scenario. Like, we know what he is, but it doesn't seem like that's the direction they're going.
Jonah Hill and Grandma's Boy. Remember that one?
So good. So good.
Baby Like Milk.
40-year-old virgin too, Jonah Hill.
Which one was he? Who was he in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
He buys like women's shoes at the eBay store.
Oh yeah.
It's like
I
a
haven't seen that in so
two-line. It's like a
long.
two-line role. I think it's
I
his
haven't
first
seen that
role,
in
actually.
so long.
I think it's his first role in a movie.
He's great in Superbad. Really great.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's a classic. Yeah.
It's truly a classic. Yeah. Man. Yeah, that actually has one of the most famous. You think about how old you are and how old I am. McLovin is one of the most recognizable names.
Yeah.
In any movie in the past, however many years, right?
He can't go anywhere. Everybody knows that he's McLovin.
That's it. It is really one of the most
like he is McLovin.
He's McLovin. That made him. And unfortunately, okay, before you guys go, when we talk about movies that are, that are good and that are fine, and yeah, Seth Rogen drives me fucking nuts, man. That guy, he did some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I thought Due Date was awesome. I loved Due Date. Or no, not Due Date. That Due Date was Robert Downing Jr. That was good. Was Zach Galifianakis. That was awesome. He had his dad's ashes.
Saw it in the theater.
In a coffee can. Great movie. Knocked Up. Knocked Up was a great movie.
It is. What is this Seth Rogen take you're about to put together? You are anti Seth Rogen?
I don't think he's done a good movie in a very long time.
I think you're crazy.
What's the last good movie he's done? He's also just the most wildly unlikable person in real life.
What?
Yeah, no, he drives me nuts, man. He's just very unlikable guy. I think he has this, like, I'm a stoner, but I'm a pretentious stoner. And the whole...
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to be pretentious at all.
I think he is. I absolutely think he is.
No, I think you're super wrong.
No, I think he's a very, very pretentious stoner type.
Let's see. Wikipedia. I mean, Sausage Party was exceptional. That's a couple years now.
What do you mean by a couple?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
I mean, how many years ago was it?
I'm working on it. He produces so much shit now that, like, getting to the things that he just acts on is not as easy. All right. Sausage Party was 2016.
Yeah, he hasn't done a good movie in a long time.
I'm scrolling through. An American Pickle was okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, he's producing so much more stuff. He's the voice of Donkey Kong in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, good. Jacob said his last... Hey, did you plug that mic in yet, Jacob? What are we doing? All right. You guys need to meet Jacob, too. Been producer for a couple months now. His last really good movie was This Is the End in 2013.
No. That's abundantly untrue. The Night Before. That should be your go-to Christmas movie moving forward.
No.
Love it. Seth Rogen. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie running through their Christmas traditions from when they were a kid. Rogen does all the drugs throughout the movie. It's a really good time. Outstanding movie. Outstanding.
Wow, sounds
movie.
really Christmassy.
It's great. It's a Christmas tradition for Katie and I for the past decade.
Mine is Bad Santa.
Same for us. Yeah, this one got added in 2015. It's my anniversary, by the way. Shout out to the wife.
Oh, congrats, man. How many years? What are you at, like 12 now years or something crazy?
9 years. 9 years.
All right. Can I give you one movie that gets slept on? No one talks about it anymore because it came out in the same years that all of these great comedies. But if you go and watch this, you will thank me for it because it's so funny.
I know you're going to name something that sucks. I'm so excited for this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm confident in it.
If you don't like this movie, I would truly be shocked. All right.
Go ahead.
I'll give you a hint. All right. Paul Rudd. McLovin's in it too.
Oh, Role Models?
Great movie.
Oh, it's exceptional. Yeah, I thought you were going to give me some real dumpster trash.
No, but I'm saying when you go back and you ask people about all those good movies from like '04 or whatever to '09, they'll tell you Wedding Crashers, they'll tell you Step Brothers, right? They'll tell you Old School. They'll give you all of those. You'll never hear Role Models, 2008. Sean William Scott was amazing in that. Elizabeth Banks is just one of the hottest people alive, and I'm not sure why I find her wildly attractive.
I find her wildly overrated.
No, in Pitch Perfect. Oh,
I wish her character in Pitch Perfect didn't exist. It's the worst part of the movie. It's the worst part of the movie.
She's so hot. But
I've never enjoyed her in anything.
Role Models was such a good movie. The final battle it was so good. They all show up as Kiss in the mega, what was it? Something
they're LARPing.
Yeah, they're LARPing, right? But they're in the Minotaur truck.
Oh yeah,
what was the energy drink called?
Taste the Beast.
Yeah,
it's Minotaur.
Minotaur, right?
Yeah,
great movie. You guys should watch it.
Elizabeth Banks was in Seabiscuit. Was she the horse?
Oh, stop it, man. No, come on.
Seabiscuit. Roll. Seabiscuit. Crazy.
Dude, I can't believe you just no interest at all, huh?
No.
She was a 10 in that movie Walk of Shame. Don't ask me how I saw that or how I remember it. Oh yeah, pull up Walk of Shame. Look at that.
Walk of Shame.
Oh yeah, that's a 10. That's a 10 of 10 there.
What movie is this?
Is that real, Jacob? She directed Cocaine Bear?
Yeah. Yeah, Walk of Shame, budget 15 million, did 8 million at the box office.
I don't care about, why do I care about that?
I hated her so much in The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I don't remember which one she was. I don't remember.
Just like a throwaway role in the movie. Hated her ever since.
I just remember the mom from Step Brothers was the mom from Step Brothers was Steve Carell's girl in that, right?
No.
Different person?
No. Yeah.
Oh, it was that. You're right. It was different. It kind of looked similar, but it was a different person. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think those women are 20 years apart in age.
Gabriel said you just like her so much because is she from Philly? I didn't know that.
Is she really?
I didn't know.
Is she really from Philly?
Josh Schmeck said, stop it. She was a 10 in Zack and Miri. Oh, she was in that.
Terrible. You don't like it because of Seth Rogen.
Smokey said, just give him Rebel. Yeah, that is exactly right. I'll take Elizabeth Banks. You can have Rebel Wilson for Pitch Perfect.
I bet I have a much more fun night.
No chance, dude. I'm so right about this. Elizabeth Banks is stunning.
No.
Pass. Appreciate you guys hanging out.
She's 49.
Yeah, 49 in Hollywood is like 30. All that adrenochrome. All right, talk to me. Talk to me about favorite top tier play, favorite low tier play, just to remind the viewers, right? Favorite leverage spot, and then favorite fade. Not a fade, maybe getting 0, but just coming in heavily under the field.
I don't want to say this out loud. I guess my favorite pay up option, the pay up option that I have the most is Jimmy Butler. But I basically have Butler, Davis, and Curry the same.
How much?
29% of all three.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What about low tier? There's not a ton, but I know Grimes is probably going to be up there for you.
So Peyton's the best option at 3,800, and he's getting the ownership. Moses Moody is the guy that I like to pay down for that isn't getting the ownership. So let's say that. In the middle, I mean, the guys that I'm getting to most, Wiggins, Draymond, Reeves, Mitchell Robinson, Quentin Grimes. Biggest fade right now is Dante DiVincenzo. I guess technically Steph as a pay up option, but I still have him. Nothing crazy from the fade perspective. I have at least a chunk of most of the guys getting ownership, but DiVincenzo would be that guy.
When you were younger, who was your one Hollywood? You too, Jacob, and you too. You chat. This is how we wrap the show up. Who was the one girl? The
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh man, Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt in what was the one movie?
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait. She was awesome in that.
Yeah, she's great in the Enrique Iglesias Hero video too.
I don't know that.
You should.
I'll give you mine. This one was pre losing her mind. Amanda Bynes was big fan of Amanda Bynes back in the day, dude.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pre everything going south.
No, my answer is way better than yours.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Josh said Josh Schmeck, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
She had a couple Jessica Albas. Yeah, Jessica Alba was nice.
Never got the Jessica Alba one. Like I don't mean it like that.
Because she's obviously
I'm obviously in. I'm obviously in. But like that, it's not my particular cup of tea.
Jessica Biel, Halle Berry.
Halle
Berry. Lisa Turtle.
Yeah, I'm Tiffany Amber Thiessen for sure. High on that list. I would have Jennifer Love Hewitt ahead of her.
Jennifer Love Hewitt back then was my number one as well, I think. Just looking back on Can't Hardly Wait.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Ah, yeah. Those are good times.
But look, her own music, the Bare Naked video. Good shit.
Wait, she had her own music?
Oh yeah, Bare Naked. That's in the Hall of Fame playlist for me on Spotify, man.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Are we confirmed 2 games tomorrow? We are, right?
Yeah. By the way, Josh Schmeck, the girl from Knight's Tale. No, you're not allowed to name her for anything. Anything.
Gabriel said prime Tara Reid. There were some Tara Reid ones back in the day that, yeah, I can get on board with that.
You ready for this?
American Pie.
Shannon Sossaman is the girl from A Knight's Tale. She was also in Rules of Attraction with Josh Hartnett. Do you want to know what she named her child?
Please.
This is the one and this happened so long ago. I feel like she led off the I'm going to name my kid something stupid thing, because she went fully stupid. As dumb as it gets, dumber than Elon, dumber than everybody. She named her child Audio Science.
No, she didn't.
She sure did.
Audio Science?
Audio Science.
Spelled the same way?
Yes, exactly how both of those words would be spelled as 2 separate words.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
That's bad. Speaking of Josh Hartnett,
they wrote that shit on a birth certificate, man.
It's horrible. You have to legally change your name when you're old enough. That's terrible. Josh said, not sure if that's worse than Elon. No, it is. That's actually the worst I've ever heard, I think.
We got to remember, she did that 20 years ago.
Yeah. Elon's is insane as well. Don't get me wrong. That's insane.
Agreed.
Do you remember the movie Josh Hartnett did called The Faculty?
Yeah, that movie freaks me out still to this day because of the things that go in the person's face when they're running behind the bleachers.
You remember that though? When they're in the swimming?
Usher's in that movie, man.
And it ended up being the hot girl that was the spreader.
Yeah.
She was the main gremlin alien reptile.
The main gremlin alien reptile.
You know who I'm talking
Interesting
about.
cast for that one too.
John P. may have nailed it too. Jordana Brewster, great answer.
That is a great smoking hot in the first Fast and the Furious.
Oh my god, that is a good answer, man. Yeah, forgot about that. Also, last one. Who's my memory's shot today. I got 5 hours of sleep. I know she's in a lot of movies, but the wife, Adam Sandler's wife in Click.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale.
Oh yeah.
Pete Davidson gave her the biz.
How? We'll see you guys back. I'm not gonna get into all Pete. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Chris Williams with the super chat. Marijuana Pepsi, that is her name. She's a doctor. What's that mean?
Really? No?
What?
Really?
What?
That's a person's name. Google it.
Oh, he's serious about this. I thought it was a joke that I was missing out on.
Yeah, no.
We gotta go.
Marijuana Pepsi is a human being. It's a real human being.
Vanditch?
Yeah. Something like that.
Wow. All right. Well, on that note, we'll see you guys back here in the morning. Appreciate you hanging out. Follow Josh Engleman at Josh Engleman, me, Alofi _D. Shout out to Jacob for producing this one. We'll see you in the morning. Peace.